Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? My name is Larry Drawn. I am the host of the Conversations in Rhythm podcast, and I am so excited this morning to be talking to my younger brother from another mother by the name of Josh Mickens. Today's broadcast is being this is just a commercial for every time I do a broadcast. I got the Lord always puts on my heart like different ideas that really conduct the overall arc of the conversation. And the thing that he was talking to me about this morning for this interview is humility. So I want to recommend a book to every musician, really to every human being, but certainly every musician, because we struggle with this because of the nature of our gift, the celestial nature of our gift to play music. Because our gift to play music comes from another dimension, there's a whole set of problems in the other dimension that we deal with here in the temporal realm that we really don't understand. Dig this. You need to cop this book. It's called Triumph in Humility, Victory Over Pride. If you are going to be an effective musician in this generation, you've got to have a handle on humility. You understand? That's I'm not going to go too deep into it, but you can understand that basic sentiment without me saying too much more. You need to have a very strong grip on humility, because the reality of this gift we've been given of music is that it is celestial in nature. It comes from the spirit realm. It comes from heaven. But we here on earth, you know what I'm saying? And dealing with something eternal from a temporal perspective, you can mishandle it. You know what I mean? I certainly have. And I'm in hot pursuit of handling this very beautiful thing the right way now. So, Josh, I see that you're on. Would you please shoot me a video request and we can go ahead, we can get our interview rolling. I'm really excited to talk with this young man. I actually met him at A&T. Now, he's a recent graduate of the of the music production program at North Carolina Central. I'm very excited to talk with him about that. Production. Interestingly enough, my friend Jonathan Cooper, shout out to Coop, who teaches at Central, he teaches at North Carolina A&T. Josh, what's happening, man?
What's going on, man?
Good to see you, brother. I'm excited to talk with you, man. I was over here about to give you your introduction. I was telling the people that we met on the Dream Girls production at North Carolina
Yeah,
A&T. And
yeah.
yeah, man, and it was super cool because so Jonathan called me for that gig initially to play drum set, right?
Word.
And I was and in my in and so I'm in this season right now where I'm really trying to pursue humility. And one of the definitions of humility is humiliation. So putting yourself in situations where you're okay with looking stupid, right? So I told Jonathan, I was like, I'll do the gig, but rather than me playing drum set, which is like my actual instrument, yo, is it cool? Could I play auxiliary percussion? Because I'm not really good at that. You know what I'm saying? And he was
Yeah.
like, bet. So it was dope because I show up to the rehearsals. I hear this young gunslinger. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? I hear this young gunslinger on the set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, you sounded amazing, man. And you were really dealing with the figures. You had a wonderful sound to really undergird the large ensemble, because we had horns, we had voices,
Yeah.
uh, we had full rhythm section. Like, it was a big production. And yeah, man, you handled it with class. And so I was very impressed, so much so that I found your Instagram page. We're gonna talk about all of this, man, because I'm you know what I mean? Like, it's okay, you know, that we haven't had this conversation like off camera.
Yeah.
But man, I'm you know, just from one drummer to another, man, I really got a lot of honor for what you're doing. Not just respect. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I
I
appreciate
honor
that.
what you're doing because I see the magnitude of it. You feel me?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's
Yeah.
about, man.
That Dream
Yes.
Girls gig was it was amazing too, man, with you on the auxiliary percussion. Something told me you could play drums too, but I hadn't like actually heard you play. But
Uh,
like I had asked people about you And people were like, I was like, yeah, man, you ever heard like Q play kid? Like, Q, who's Q? I was like, Larry Q. Oh yeah, he's solid. He's solid. So, but it's crazy because I actually have like I just recently started hearing you play around the city, and like I always appreciate somebody with a different sound that doesn't sound like what everybody else is doing. And like it's funny that you mentioned humility because I've actually been getting closer to God like in the past couple of weeks too because of some things that are transpired. And like I can tell when another person has a godly gift on their plan. And like because you don't hear it that often. A lot of people can play, but they don't have that. But I can tell you do just by how you carry yourself and the way you talk. And it's just, I can tell you have a blessing on your plan as well, man. It's
I
great to hear.
did. I did. Well, man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool. It's cool to talk with you, man. So first and foremost, how did you get into drums? Like are you like did you grow up in church? Like did you pick it up at an early age? Did you pick it up later on in life?
Well, actually, yeah, I started up in church. My mom tells the story all the time. I started at like 3 years old on pots and pans
Come
and
on.
all of that stuff, and I kind of just, I really owe a lot of my playing to my pops, really, because my pops, he plays keys in church.
Okay.
My grandparents are pastors. My mom
Yeah.
sang on the choir.
Yeah.
So, like, my pops was always putting me in situations even though he knew like at I wasn't necessarily as good as the other drummers at like 5, 6, 7, 12 years old, he was still